welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls. And we are back with another Jujutsu Kaisen video to talk about Gojo's sacrifice during the Shibuya incident.
Hold on, what?
This is an arc where many are left confused. I mean, think about it. How could Satoru Gojo lose if he is the strongest sorcerer to ever exist?
なるほど、わからん。
But that's where I come in. I'll break things down for any numpty by the end of this video to understand. You will then unlock your curse technique called Big Brain.
This is big brain time.
So in Jujutsu Kaisen Shibuya incident arc, with the odds against Satoru Gojo, he did the unthinkable, and this was in order to save as many people as he can from dying. It wasn't an easy thing for him to do, and many might not understand why he did it, because realistically, as I said, Gojo could have massacred the cursed spirits then and there with how powerful he actually is. Every single sorcerer, spirit, and politician knows who Satoru Gojo is, or will eventually find out as their life goes on. They fear him and his potential.
術式反転赤
Anyways, the Shibuya incident arc in Jujutsu Kaisen was a defining moment in the series for many reasons. For instance, the establishment of Kenjaku's plan, who is the brain, the confirmation that Sukuna has a plan for Megumi for Shigoro, and even the deaths of Mahito and Jogo, the two strongest special grade curses introduced in the series aside from Sukuna, the king himself. All of these pivotal plot moments not only escalated the stakes of Jujutsu Kaisen, but put the respective world, more specifically the country of Japan, in a new era of destruction, with the truth about curses and jujutsu techniques becoming knowledge to even non-sorcerer human beings. This break in tradition is due to the villain possessing Geto's body, using his curse manipulation technique to its fullest capacity whilst utilizing his 1000 years of sorcery knowledge. Kenjaku, who is the brain, is the main antagonist to Satoru Gojo's students, and he has made his claim to bring Japan back to the Heian period, or better known as the golden age of curse techniques. The Heian period is a historic time frame for Japanese history that gave rise to two Buddhist sects, which makes perfect sense due to the heavy relationship between Buddhism and Jujutsu sorcery. We know from chapter 74, Master Tengen spread Japanese Buddhism and preached what would become the foundation for Jujutsu sorcerers. He predates and existed before the time of even Sukuna, the king of curses, which was 1200 years ago in the Nara period. Kenjaku's goal is a difficult one in theory, bringing back the era of curse techniques where some of the most prominent techniques of the current Jujutsu world were created. That would mean that the need for stronger techniques to be created would need to be developed and honed over time. This means more curse users, more curses, and ultimately more despair. Since Jujutsu Kaisen's manga has made it quite clear that it isn't really a fun lifestyle to be a sorcerer.
What?
Fight back! Fight back! Unlike, let's say, a Super Saiyan or a ninja in the Naruto world, in fact, it's quite difficult, and it challenges the spirits of those that try to hone the good nature within the world by going against the evil that spreads. Being a Jujutsu sorcerer is a demanding occupation that requires one to constantly face fear-inducing curses and even risk their life. Naturally, there are several drawbacks to working as a professional exorcist like Itadori is doing. Satoru Gojo, among others, believe that being a little crazy is a requirement to be a Jujutsu sorcerer. People who can't handle grotesque monsters and gruesome scenes quickly give up on working as one. Additionally, someone who's encountered a curse are lucky to die a normal death. Some humans capable of using Jujutsu would rather choose to become curse users simply because it offers a much easier life than being a sorcerer. Therefore, with the thinking cap of a protagonist and on the good side, Kenjaku's plan isn't ideal for Japan, and there is one major obstacle that would have stopped all of it, and that is Satoru freaking Gojo. Yes, the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer feared by all curse users. He is the main obstacle to stop Kenjaku's plan, and for the time being, he is actually gone. He's been sealed away. The Shibuya incident was where we see Gojo lose for the second time, being tricked by Kenjaku, whilst he plotted in the shadows with the cursed family. The plan to seal Gojo away was thought out extremely well and was able to work because Kenjaku had knowledge of Gojo's nature from the memories of Geto due to having his body and controlling the brain. Gojo and Geto's relationship at the end of Gojo's past arc defined Gojo's desire to believe in a world where jujutsu sorcerers can protect humans whilst also keeping their sanity and own people alive. If you want to know about Gojo's relationship with Geto or why everyone fears him, I highly suggest for you to watch the 2 videos being displayed to you right now. This is why next time it's so important for you to hit the notification bell for the channel so you don't miss out on these important content. I hate it when we are not all on the same page as a community, because at the end of the day we should enjoy the series together, right? With that being said, what was truly the deciding factor for Kenjaku's plan to succeed is for Gojo to actually stay true to his self-imposed ideals and moral values. You see, Gojo is by far the strongest, meaning if he wanted to, he could have killed everyone in Japan probably without much struggle. Even Meme points this out when she encounters the fake Geto underground, making her reject the idea of Gojo and Geto even working together and instantly assumed he is a fake. The truth is, if Gojo wanted to, he could have let every human in B5F, the underground area of Shibuya where he was sealed, be killed off as collateral damage in his fight against Mahito, Jogo, Hanami and Choso all at once. But instead, he kept analyzing the situation to find a way to save as many people as possible whilst also killing all the enemies before it. This is what truly makes Satoru Gojo special, because he isn't conceited to the point where he is a rotten jujutsu sorcerer, even if the higher ups would say otherwise. They are the hypocrites. They are the ones that are actually corrupt and hate Satoru Gojo for staying on a straight line and being morally correct and a good person. So as a result of Satoru Gojo's ideology being good-natured, this is where Kenjaku's expectations hit head on, where Satoru Gojo becomes frustrated with the curses using humans as shields to defend themselves against attacking him head on. Jogo specifically was using the crowd to blend in to hide himself after Hanami was killed with ease due to being tricked by Gojo's deactivation of the limitless technique. Baba Hanami, go back. The humans who have the capacity to notice the curses began to evade Satoru Gojo and evade the curses too. Gojo notes that more of them that are killed, the easier it is for him to spot them. He isn't necessarily saddened by this, but completely pissed at the curses tactics. He tells himself that he won't be able to save all of them, but in return he will exercise them. This moment is when Kenjaku tells Dogon that the fight is still too easy for Gojo and that he needs to be put more on edge. Mahito sent 1,000 transfigured humans at Gojo by underground train, whilst regular humans were in the vicinity, unable to see the supernatural entities around them fighting. They were dying left and right, sending them all into a confused flurry, but the decrease in humans would be to Gojo's advantage so that when they drop even more people to the bottom floor where the fighting is taking place. The confidence of Mahito and Jogo is boosted by this because they realize that Gojo is unlike Yuji Itadori. He has the capacity to be cold-hearted. However, there is a limit to what he is willing to sacrifice. The more people they bring around, they believe it will make Gojo do less in a fight, weakening his arsenal, leaving him vulnerable of course. But that isn't the case for Gojo. As the strongest and most talented jujutsu sorcerer with both the 6th eye and limitless, Gojo has the ability to analyze not only the curse energy of cursed spirits and sorcerers, but non-sorcerers as well. In a moment of pure shock to his enemies, Gojo activates his domain expansion called Immeasurable Void for only 0.2 seconds. The narration for this moment was called Gojo's All or Nothing. It was described as an intuitive guess of how long the people in B5F would be able to survive 0.2 seconds within his domain without any lasting after effects, giving them roughly half a year's worth of information which left them standing unconscious. This gave Gojo the opportunity to attack either the special grade curses or the transfigured humans, which Gojo chose the latter. Now why? Well, it is stated that the curses could have awoken at any time after the 0.2 second domain closed, so Gojo expected there to be a counterattack if he went at them, causing them to awaken to be able to kill more humans. So within 299 seconds, Gojo kills every transfigured human 1,000 2,000 that Mahito sent on the train. But before he could begin to take out the curses, this is when Kenjaku drops the prison realm out on Gojo and pops up to surprise him now that he has Geto's body. Kenjaku's plan worked perfectly. All of his desires to begin the re-merging of the Heian period golden age began with him getting Gojo to sacrifice himself without intending to do so, playing on Gojo's desire to show his students and the Jujutsu world his ability to complete the mission with as few casualties as possible. He preyed upon the memories of his best friend Geto that allowed him to gain the information to exploit. This information is in regards to the clash of ideologies regarding the treatment of non-curse energy users and normal humans. These are the people that have nothing to do with the sorcery world. His best friend in the past believed they should be culled, whilst Gojo believed in a future that could prosper through creating good-hearted sorcerers that would control the powerhouses and 3 big families involved in that world. Kenjaku essentially performed a 5D chess move, but it didn't stop there. Gojo's choice to use 0.2 second domain was also an indirect sacrifice, because it gave the higher-ups evidence to use against him to claim he was part of the Shibuya incident in their corruption. It even led them to believe that he never killed Geto back in Volume 0, the prequel, when he attacked Yuta Okatsu. This took all the heat off Kenjaku, making it seem like he was never involved, at least not in the sense of his true nature as a brain-changing bodies. Now, if you want to learn the entire backstory of Yuta Okatsu and the story of Volume 0, the video again will be in the pinned comment and displayed to you right now. Now, even if Master Tengen knows the truth, he does not participate in the affairs of the world and is only concerned with protecting himself from Kenjaku, since he is a key factor to the plan of ascending the world into an age that can fully tap into the potential of curse energy. This is because Tengen reveals that Kenjaku, the sorcerer from Sukuna's time 1,000 years ago, was the person who was once Narutoshi Kamo, but now he has inhabited Geto's body. At the end of the day, Tengen is immortal, but he continues to age, and therefore someone like even Yuji Itadori would look like him after 500 years. Tengen explains to the group that 11 years prior, they failed to merge with a star plasma vessel, and so were not able to prevent their curse technique evolving due to his advanced age. Tengen's individual awareness has degraded to an extent where he's become a part of the whole world now. Master Tengen lets us know Kenjaku's objective, which is to force the evolution of humankind throughout Japan. Now, the reason Kenjaku didn't do this with idol transfiguration with Mahito's technique, where we knew Mahito can do this as he activated this in season 1, is because he lacks curse energy to do so, and he has chosen the method to forcibly merge the human population with Tengen, whose newly evolved state into becoming a part of all things can allow him to merge with beings other than the star plasma vessel. Now, what does this mean? Yeah, you're probably confused. Well, essentially, if Kenjaku succeeds in his evolution plan, it will result in the all of humanity attaining a state like Tengen, which is lacking boundaries between one another. Therefore, the evil of even one person would then instantly spread to all other people, which means even if one person goes out of control, impurities would flood the entire world, destroying it like Tokyo was. This is why Kenjaku seems to favor Sukuna's rebirth and would like to support the King of Curses by possibly making Sukuna the king of the new world he would like to create, the king of hell on earth. So why was it so important for Kenjaku to defeat Satoru Gojo by seal rather than attempting to kill him? Well, that didn't work out in the past. This is because Tengen also revealed that Kenjaku lost twice to a sorcerer with the 6 eyes, and the second time he took no chances by killing both the star plasma vessel and the 6 eyes less than a month after they were born. Nevertheless, on the day of the merging, both the 6 eyes and the star plasma vessel appeared. So Kenjaku decided, oh my god, my plan's not working, so he switched the plan to, instead of killing them, to sealing. This would eradicate the 6 eyes, and that's why he started searching for the prison realm, because 2 bearers of the 6 eyes cannot appear at the same time within the world. So Gojo deciding to place his moral values of protecting people over his desire to just kill the curses is something that shows his growth from when he was a student, where his best friend changed from an ally to an enemy. Gojo's dream of changing the Jujutsu world by fostering strong allies is personified with his sacrifice and allows his students to unfortunately have to go against the Jujutsu school and world sooner than he had even planned. Even though the odds are against him, he has complete faith in his students, making him one of the best teachers in manga. This brings us back to the recent events of Satoru Gojo being sealed. After understanding the importance of Gojo's sacrifice and how much it affected his students, effectively changing the Jujutsu world forever, as of now we have an unleashed version of Maki being on the levels of the legend Toji Fushiguro, Megumi's father. Itadori and Megumi too have leveled up since then, but alongside this we have a union of Jujutsu sorcerers who follow the principle that Gojo paved. Yuta and even Hikairi being part of this group. However, all these changes and benefits will not prevent Satoru Gojo's outbursts, because as we all know, no one can stop him. He can end the world if he wanted to. His rage after being unsealed, after seeing the corruption of the entire world, after learning the truth of Kenjaku and his plan, even though he made this sacrifice, Gojo will probably go on a bloodbath, because he promised them in the past that he is only doing this on a whim. If they cross the line and what he wants in the future, he will kill them. He even threatened them. We already know in the past he has threatened them. So Gojo will likely wipe out all the Jujutsu higher-ups and all of the committees that are corrupt, alongside Kenjaku if he isn't dealt with by his own students. After all, during Gojo's absence, his close friend Nanami and Sensei Yaga were killed too. And let's not forget, he was utterly disrespected. We have previously witnessed Satoru Gojo being pushed to an emotional level of rage before, like when he learned the Jujutsu higher-ups purposely tried to eliminate and assassinate Itadori and his students by sending them off to a mission above their grade. Gojo for a moment entertained the idea of killing them all. Now, this wasn't the first time he showcased this side of rage, as during his early years after the death of Riko Amane and his near-death defeat by Toji Fushiguro, Gojo's true self and emotions and undying will pushed him to evolve into this limitless self. He later that day got revenge and killed Toji. Remember, Gojo said to Megumi Fushiguro that sometimes a sorcerer has to be selfish, and when Gojo faced Toji Fushiguro for the second time, he did say that I am the benevolent one and the one that is blessed. When we look at Gojo's past during that mission, go look back at that, guys. When Gojo was looking at the cult and their smiles and laughing and celebrating the death of Riko, Gojo was asking Geto, his best friend at that time that he could trust, bro, should we kill all of these people right here, right now? Because he was so unsatisfied and so unhappy with the events that occurred and how unsympathetic and disgusting the people were acting. So this just tells us that when Gojo is unsealed, he's already had two big red flags in his life where Itadori and his students are about to die. He's like, bro, I want to kill all of you. He's had it the first time in his past. Now this is the third strike. When he's unsealed, he's gonna be like, bro, it's time to murder all of you. We also know Satoru Gojo is very sentimental, as when his best friend Geto betrayed the Jujutsu school and the world, becoming a cursed user, Satoru Gojo couldn't bring himself to kill him. Only after being defeated by Yuta and left severely wounded, Geto is then finally killed by Gojo. However, this was easy for Satoru Gojo and forever changed the way he felt, especially in regards to losing the life of a friend, which is why it makes even more sense that Gojo will come out relentless and unforgiving once he is unsealed. Kenjaku not only disrespected him, but also his dead best friend by sealing his dead body and using it for his own goals. This also reinforces his anger towards the Jutsu higher-ups for taking the life of Principal Yaga, who was one of the closest people to him after Geto and Shoko. Jujutsu Kaisen might just end with Gojo's rage ending the whole system and creating it anew. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you for joining us. We will be covering Jujutsu Kaisen more frequently with the channel if we get enough support. So thank you as always, and see you next time.